Well, just to finish up then, it's broadly understood that industry superannuation funds genuinely do benefit the community, with their cheaper admin costs leading to higher returns for investors. That's the whole compare to peer thing, you know what I mean? Well, you'd be aware that industry super funds also are very, very aggressive with public companies that don't meet their lofty moral standards. So we're talking about things like employment practices, environmental issues, or executive pay. And you see it in the strikes against directors and executive pay deals when it comes to annual general meeting time. So just ask, say, Qantas, which is facing, those types of challenges at its upcoming annual meeting. But look, there's a serious question industry funds themselves have to answer. Is it sometimes a case of do as I say and not do as I do? Now, a good example popped up today. Australian Retirement Trust, this is it here, is the country's second biggest superannuation fund. It has $260 billion in assets. It was created from the merger of Queensland's SunSuper and QSuper a year or so back. Now, when it merged, CIO Bernard Riley, this is him here, recently said, coming out of the Hayne Royal Commission, trust is a really important attribute. We want to put it up front in our name, which they've done. So today we're a bit surprised to see this piece in the Financial Review, seemingly sourced from a US real estate site that we spotted, that says QSuper has just walked away from a US $540 million real estate investment. Just to explain this place here is 1440 Broadway, New York, the Big Apple. Now, WeWork here was a big tenant, but work from home cruelled their chances in there. In January, Amazon laid off 243 workers based in this very building. So QSuper and its partner CIM Group bought the building back in 2017, financed by a $399 million US loan. That loan recently fell due, but like a lot of US homeowners, rather than refinance it because they couldn't afford it, they were underwater, they simply dropped the keys on the financier's desk and walked away. Now, presumably, they would have lost their capital, around 140 million US dollars. For QSuper, give or take, it's about 100 million Aussie dollars. Now, this is information on the Australian Retirement Trust or QSuper website for investors' knowledge. Is it there? Yep, not there. The only hint was back in June 30th fund update when its chief investment officer, this bloke Ian Patrick, said the office sector experienced material downward adjustments. Now, you can argue, given ART produced a 10% annual return, it doesn't really matter, especially for a fund as big as ART is. But if a public company failed to reveal a $100 million loss, the regulators, and indeed the big super funds like Australian Retirement Trust, would be all over them like a rash, as they should be. And this is where all industry super funds, holier than thou that they are, need to hold themselves to a higher standard or have it imposed upon them by government.